Good day folks, you're welcome once again to my channel, Jude, WAWABOSS, Ayog. In today's episode of the EXPOSÉ with WAWABOSS, I will be talking about the topic I titled Black Emancipation, the death of Black activists, and the Untold story. Now basically, last time I dropped a video regarding the fact that the Western world doesn't want Africa to be emancipated, doesn't want Africa to be free from poverty, be free from lack of industrialization, for Africa to be like the normal Western world, that if Africa becomes free, that it would affects the lives of the Europeans and the Western world negatively. Like the standard of living in Europe will come down, that there's a need to keep Africa the way it is, in poverty, in underdevelopment, so that the natural resources in Africa will be tapped and exploited and all that. I dropped that video, I think that was 2 weeks ago or thereabout. Now I have some other thoughts bothering my mind, basically on Black emancipation and Black activists and how they all died. Like people who were talking about Black emancipation. I have a few names I want to mention, and I will list the way they died. There's actually controversy surrounding these persons or these people. First, I will start with Martin Luther King. Many of us know about Martin Luther King, who is a very vocal Black American in the early 60s or thereabouts, or between 60s to 70s. I can't really pin the actual date now, basically, who was very vocal and talking about how the Black Lives Matter and how blacks need to be emancipated, and how, even have actually a famous speech he made, the very popular speech, I Have a Dream speech, but he was actually assassinated. Okay, there's another a very known popular Black emancipator called Malcolm X. His real name is not Malcolm X anyway. He changed his name to Malcolm X after he converted to Islam or thereabout. So he was also assassinated. He was also very, very vocal and talking about Black emancipation as well, and how blacks should be Black supremacy and all that. Another is Tupac Amaru. Believe it or not, a lot of people would only know Tupac for his music and his gangsterism and the way he basically portrays himself as a gangster and a thug in his music. But that is not what Tupac is. Basically, Tupac is a revolutionist, a revolution kind of movement. Tupac is not just an artist. Tupac is very, very sound and intelligent. Tupac has been, all his life, has been fighting, talking about Black emancipation in his music. He has been very vocal in talking about how the blacks and people in general should have a better life. How the world should be a better place, and how the people at the top should also listen to the people from the bottom, from the ghetto. He grew up listening to his mom and some other Black emancipators. Basically, he got educated about how the Black man should be taken into cognizance and also should be given a listening ear. Basically, he was just fighting for Black rights. Basically, listen to most of his songs, you hear him say a lot about the emancipation of blacks, and he was also assassinated. Now I'm getting somewhere. Bob Marley, same. In his music, he was also talking about Black emancipation, how Africa should unite, how the Black man should understand that there's a lot of work for him to do and the whole lot. It was alleged that he died of cancer of the foot, I think, yeah. But after so many years, an ex-CIA agent by the name Bill Osley, on his deathbed, confessed that he actually killed Bob Marley, because Bob Marley was a threat to the interests of the powers that be, and it's also a threat to CIA, and also that his ideologies of emancipating black does not all go well with the powers that be, basically. So also Lucky Dube was also assassinated on his in the streets of South Africa, and we all know he's also a reggae artist who was talking about black emancipation and all that. And lastly, I will also add Fela to it, Abamieda, one of the greatest artists in Africa, the greatest artist from Nigeria, and arguably the #1 human rights activist known in Africa, basically. He constantly fought the Nigerian government through his music, and he also talked about black emancipation, how the white man does not know more than he does, how the African is the best, how a lot about Africa is better than the Western world, you know. Now, if you check these names I mentioned, they all didn't die naturally. Now, let me finish with Fela. It was alleged that Fela got AIDS and died, but recent investigations show that that might not necessarily be true, because out of all the numerous women he kept, there's no record of any of them having AIDS or HIV or dying of HIV or AIDS, basically. And we all know Fela had lots of women and people around, you know. And I heard a comment from one of Fela's protege called forgotten his name, Dube Mabiaku, yeah, that Fela told them that he was given an injection while in prison, in one of his prison time in the Nigerian government cell and all that. So, meaning Fela was actually assassinated, according to that comment. Now check the history of all these black emancipators, the way they died through assassinations. Martin Luther King, Malcom X, Tupac, Bob Marley, Lucky Dube, Fela, and some other ones I didn't mention here. You will see that there's actually a clandestine move to quiet anybody that wants to